Ever stared at your phone, saw that familiar Rogers logo, and wondered, wait, where exactly am I supposed to be to see this? I mean, we all know it's a telecom company, but is it like everywhere? Or is it a super specific, tucked away kind of thing? You're not alone if you've had that thought. See, we live in a world where brands stretch across borders, where a name you recognize in your hometown might pop up thousands of miles away. But Rogers? That's a bit of a different story. Think about it. We're bombarded with global brands. We see Coca-Cola in every corner of the planet, McDonald's golden arches dotting skylines from Tokyo to Buenos Aires, and let's not even get started on the online giants. So, naturally, our brains are wired to assume that anything with a recognizable logo has got to have some kind of international footprint, right? But here's the thing about assumptions, they can lead you down some pretty interesting rabbit holes. And in this case, the rabbit hole leads us to a fascinating look at the intricacies of regional telecom dominance. We're talking about a company that's become synonymous with connectivity, a giant in its own right, yet operates within a very defined geographical space. Now, before we dive into the answer, let's step back for a second and appreciate the sheer scale of the telecom industry. We're talking about the backbone of our modern world. Without it, our phones are just fancy bricks, our internet is a distant dream, and our digital lives grind to a halt. And in this vast, interconnected world, companies like Rogers play a critical role in keeping us all connected. Think about the infrastructure involved. We're talking about miles and miles of cables, towering cell towers, complex networks that handle billions of data packets every second. It's a massive undertaking, and it takes a lot of resources, a lot of expertise, and a lot of investment to make it all work. And that's why, in many cases, telecom companies tend to focus their efforts on specific regions, building strongholds in their home territories. So, when we ask, what country uses Rogers, we're not just asking a simple geographic question. We're asking about the strategic choices that companies make, the economic realities that shape their operations, and the intricate web of regulations that govern the telecom industry. Let's break it down. Rogers Communications is a Canadian telecommunications and media company. That's the key word, Canadian. It's not a global conglomerate like Vodafone or AT&T. It's a national champion, a company that has built its success on serving the Canadian market. Now, that doesn't mean Rogers doesn't have any international connections. Of course, they do. They need to roam with other carriers to let their customers use their phones abroad. They purchase equipment from international manufacturers. They might have partnerships with other telecom companies. But their core business, their primary focus, is Canada. Specifically, they operate in Canada. Think about the major cities, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary. Rogers is a household name in these places, a dominant player in the telecom landscape. They provide a wide range of services, including wireless, cable television, internet, and home phone. They're a one-stop shop for all your connectivity needs. And that's where the magic happens. By focusing on a single country, Rogers has been able to build a strong and loyal customer base. They've invested heavily in their infrastructure, building a network that's known for its reliability and speed. They've developed a deep understanding of the Canadian market, tailoring their services to meet the specific needs of their customers. Consider the vastness of Canada. It's a huge country, with diverse landscapes and challenging terrains. Building a nationwide network requires a massive effort, and Rogers has been up to the task. They've expanded their coverage to remote areas, ensuring that even those living in the most isolated communities have access to reliable communication services. Now, you might be thinking, why not expand internationally? Well, there are several reasons. First, the telecom industry is highly competitive. Entering new markets requires significant investment and carries a high degree of risk. Second, each country has its own set of regulations and licensing requirements, which can be complex and time-consuming. Third, Rogers has already established a strong position in the Canadian market, and they've chosen to focus on strengthening that position rather than venturing into unknown territories. It's a strategic choice, a decision to focus on what they do best. And it's a decision that has served them well. Rogers has become a leader in the Canadian telecom industry, a company that's known for its innovation and its commitment to customer service. Think about the technological advancements that Rogers has brought to Canada. They were early adopters of new technologies, rolling out 4G and 5G networks ahead of many of their international competitors. They've invested in fiber optic infrastructure, bringing high-speed internet to millions of Canadians. They've embraced the digital age, offering a wide range of online services and mobile apps. And they've done it all within the borders of Canada. It's a testament to the strength of the Canadian market and the ability of Canadian companies to compete on a global scale. Now, let's address a common misconception. You might have seen the Rogers name associated with roaming agreements. When you travel to another country and use your Rogers phone, you're connecting to a local network through a roaming agreement. That doesn't mean Rogers operates in that country. It simply means they have a partnership with a local telecom company that allows their customers to use their services while traveling. So, to be crystal clear, Rogers operates in Canada. That's their home, their focus, and their area of expertise. It's a company that has built its success on serving the Canadian market, and it's a company that continues to innovate and lead in the Canadian telecom industry. The lesson here isn't just about Rogers. It's about understanding the nuances of how businesses operate in a globalized world. It's about recognizing that not every brand has to be everywhere. Sometimes, the best strategy is to focus on your strengths, to build a strong foundation in your home market, and to excel at what you do best. And for Rogers, that means being the best telecom company in Canada. They've embraced their identity as a Canadian company, and they've become a symbol of Canadian innovation and success. So, the next time you see that Rogers logo, you'll know exactly where you are, in Canada. And you'll know that you're connected to a network that's built on a foundation of reliability, innovation, and a deep understanding of the Canadian market. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.